This is Abigail Barella with Sparkle and Shine Guidance, and this is your new moon in Leo oracle. And I wanted to take some time to talk about this new moon because it is very powerful and it contains all the energy that we need to be moving forward in this whole new energy that we're all in. This summer has been a huge invitation to do the deeper work that we need to do in order to kind of become a leader in our own lives and really come from a place of understanding that maybe the collective ways of being or ways of doing things isn't really serving our individual needs. And this is what Leo season is all about. Leo season is about tapping into our own leadership, tapping into that courageous lion-like energy. And what's interesting is this new moon comes at the end of, it's like the tail of the lion. But what's even more interesting is that it's actually, hi, if you're just joining me, I'm talking about the new moon in Leo. And this new moon in Leo is at 26 degrees of Leo. And so if you have any planets or placements close by this new moon, you're going to be feeling it a bit more intensely. Or if you have anything in the fire signs, so Aries or Sag, you also might be feeling this kind of transformative energy. And then likewise, if you have anything in the opposite sign, which is Aquarius, then you're also going to be feeling this. So this new moon is huge because it starts this whole new cycle, and we will be revisiting this, like the fruition of this energy will be in January. And there is a big connection here because it is on Regalis, which is the heart of the lion. So even though it's at the end of Leo season, it's the end of Leo season, it is on the heart of the lion. And what that is really about is that deep courage and that deep, regalness that we need to tap into, that we all have access to. We are all created and meant to be here to help each other. But the only way we can do that is if we're really in alignment with our own needs and leading from that place of love and that childlike place of play. And, as children, the best way young children learn is through playing. And Leo season is all about play. When we have a new moon at the very end of Leo season, hi, if you're just joining me, I'm talking about the new moon in Leo. So if you have planets or placements at the end of Leo, then you're going to be feeling this more. And this new moon, because it's at the end of Leo at the beginning is that childlike spark, that play, that wanting to be having fun and all the things. And then as we progress into the end stages of Leo, it's really that deep wisdom of play, the deep wisdom of pleasure and enjoying what we have and enjoying nature, enjoying like sitting out in the sun, like all the things that we take for granted maybe, or we don't necessarily even take the time to enjoy. This new moon being here is really showing us how to step into, our own divinity in that way. When we have this new moon, it's conjunct Mercury, we're going to be processing a lot. And I was saying that I believe that the Lion's Gate energy goes all the way up until this new moon. And the reason I was saying that is because it's really at a new moon where we're initiated into fresh energy. And so if we can take the lessons that came through during the Lion's Gate, I personally believe that this Lion's Gate was a lot about clearing old programs, clearing old belief systems, and kind of having the courage to not be driven by fear, but more be driven by love. And so now at this new moon, Mercury's right there. So we're processing. Mercury's are processing our communication, maybe taking in new information that we've come to, and being able to communicate from that place, being able to move forward in new ways from that fresh energy. There's a trine. So a trine in astrology is ease. When we have a trine at a new moon, we love seeing that, especially when Mars is there, because Mars is in Aries, which is in its home placement. That's where it wants to be. It's a very powerful energy and it's I am, right? And so you can continue that sentence with anything, whatever you believe, right? And so it's such a powerful time to reform and reshape and push away, maybe not push away, but dissolve any stories or imprints that you feel like you've been given by the external world, and really stepping into this whole new fresh way of being I am, because Mars is in Aries for a long time. It's going to go retrograde there. So we are really redefining that I am. And one of the things about this time period is it's so important, because we literally, as a whole in the world right now, I mean, there are definitely amazing leaders out there, but we are at a lack and a longing for leaders that lead from love. And oftentimes, someone that's on the pedestal of that, something happens to them, right? And what this is showing us is that we all need to step in this energy. And instead of hating on each other, instead of judging each other, instead of, going into different micro ways of separating ourselves from each other, we really need to tap into that divinity that we all have. And when we do that, we naturally just push out this lower way of being that is duality, that is judgment, that is moving through the world based on fear. Yeah, and accepting one another, and accepting that we are all connected. We are all one. And that's really like the bigger picture with Mars and Aries is I am, and I am that you are, right? Like we're all connected. Okay, so to not go into too much of the astrology, because I know when I start using astrology terms, I lose some of you. A really important aspect with Mars and Aries are I am, right? And I am divinity, because I am God source energy, right? In the flesh, right? And if we can, some people get a little afraid by that statement, but really if we all were working from that place, I truly believe we wouldn't have half of the problems that we have. Thank you, Janelle. Okay, Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is right there, conjunct. When we say conjunct, it means right there with Mars. Mars and Black Moon Lilith are right there in Aries. And Black Moon Lilith, she's our ride or die. She's the part of the divine feminine that has been shamed, that has been shoved down, that has been pushed aside. The story of her is she was the first wife of Adam that wanted to also be in her power, that also wanted to be an equal. She wanted to be the queen to the king. And because of this, Adam couldn't manipulate and just take from her. So she was shunned, and she went off into the woods with her snakes. This is the story. She's aligned with the snakes, and she is the ride or die. And because it's the part of us that we can suppress, but she's always there. And this is for men and women. And so it's the part of us that we feel like society or our lover or our family would just not accept. So we have to kind of put her into the shadow, right? So the story with Black Moon Lilith is then that she has to go off with her snakes, and Eve takes her place because Eve is younger and she's more malleable, and she doesn't even know what it's like to be that powerful. So then she can be manipulated. So the story of Black Moon Lilith is really important for the times that we're in, because we could also say that Black Moon Lilith is also, because she's so powerful, it's that part of us that we're scared to show to the world, because it is our power, and we're afraid if we show that, it's going to attract judgment, it's going to attract not so good energy coming our way. And this is also around the medical system, because if you know about the whole symbology of our current medical system, it has the snakes wrapped up, and it actually has to do a lot with Mercury, which is commerce, which is really interesting when you think about it, especially in the United States. It's very tied up into commerce. But that deeper knowing, that deeper wisdom, and that deeper wild, free part of ourselves knows what our bodies and our minds and our spirits need, And it's very difficult to tap into her energy because the fear is that we will be cast out, we will be not accepted by the group, we will not belong. And so when we have a new moon where she is trining, which is a positive aspect, it's not a square. A square is a challenge. A trine means, oops, my light is going. Okay, so a trine means that she is available for us to pull from that wisdom, to pull from that power. And like I said, the end degrees of Leo is it's honestly the most powerful because the sun is exalted in its full power and the sun rules Leo. And what the sun really represents in astrology is spirit, is source energy, right? So when we have this time frame where we have this fire lit underneath us to start a whole new cycle, and it has that deeper wisdom, but it's kind of hidden in our shadow because we're afraid to tap into it more. But Mars is bringing it out. We really have this opportunity to break through the systematic oppression. Why I say that is because we do have a square from Mars and Black Moon Lilith to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all over there in Capricorn, which again, when I'm talking about this metaphorically, I am not saying that Capricorn is a negative. Just in this situation, when it's a square, it's really highlighting the system. It's highlighting the man. It's highlighting the 1%. And the way that we're going to kind of come into this, what I've been calling like the new earth or the new way or the opening the new way of being, is by seeing through the illusion, seeing through the manipulation by the system to put us all in a state of fear and separation. So this new moon is super powerful. Again, look to where the late degrees of Leo falls in your chart. And also look at, all those other places I talked about, because this new moon really has the opportunity for you to move into your divinity. And the card that I pulled is the Lovers, and it's Children of the Voice Divine. And I'm just like, if that's not like so telling of what we're supposed to be in, really being in a place where we can be aware of our fears and really look at the root of our fears, but not be operating from that place and not be moving forward in the world from that place. And really it's about tapping into our courage and, moving from the place of trust, moving from the place of newness, making new choices. I always tell people that we can't change our lives without making some changes to our routines, to our ways of, thinking. And the best way to do that is to just change a little thing. So if you change a little thing by in the morning you do a 5-minute meditation, or in the morning you drink a whole glass of water when you didn't used to do that. Like just one little change can cause this ripple, because you're literally causing a disruption to that unconscious part of you that just moves throughout their day. So I highly recommend at this new moon committing to some kind of different way of routine, or some different way of moving your body, because Mars is there and Leo's also about like moving the body and playing. So incorporating some form of play would also be a great way to use this new moon. I think I still have one session available this week on Wednesday. So if you're interested in doing an intuitive healing session with me, we go in, we look at any energetic blocks, any beliefs or restrictions that you're wanting to and ready to work with and clear, so that you can be in more in that place of trusting in the divinity of yourself. That is something that you can schedule through the link in my profile. And then I'm also doing new moon tarot readings. So if you want one of those, you can just PM me. They're 36 and they're delivered through audio text. And I will post more about that in another post. But I hope you're having a beautiful weekend, and definitely reach out if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule.